So what's the situation today? It's stable, but it's not normal and it's sensitive. So if that be the case, what are we wanting? We are wanting that the situation...
You took charge 3 months back, and it's been a period of churn for the neighborhood. Would you say that China is still the biggest security challenge for India, and how do you assess the situation at the border given the high levels of troop deployment and the tensions, and at the same time statements from the Chinese side saying there is progress and more convergence and fewer differences?
So though I have taken 3 months, but it has 40 years of experience behind it.
Of course.
So as far as China is concerned, it has been intriguing our mind for quite some time. And I keep saying with China, you have to compete, you have to cooperate, you have to coexist, you have to confront and contest. So what's the situation today as we are looking at? The positive signaling is coming from the diplomatic side. But what we have to understand, the diplomatic side gives you the options and possibilities. But when it comes to the execution on ground, when it relates to the ground per se, it is dependent on the military commanders on both the sides to take those decisions. So what's the situation today? It's stable, but it's not normal and it's sensitive. So if that be the case, what are we wanting? We are wanting that the situation, what was there pre-April 2020, that should be restored back. Whether in terms of the ground occupation situation or the buffer zones which have been created or patrolling which have been kind of planned as of now. So till the time that situation is not restored, as far as we are concerned, situation will remain sensitive and we are fully operationally prepared to face any kind of a contingency which will come through. And in complete gamut, if we see, the trust has become the biggest casualty.
So do you see progress? Because that is the word that is being used a lot, that there is progress. Do you see a possible deal on, say, on Demchok or some other place?
So what we're talking about from April 20, if we see that over a period of time, both sides have been sitting together, diplomatic parleys have been taking place. We have had approximately 17 SHMCL or the Corps Commanders Level Conference. We had 21 WMCC conferences which have taken place. And we have come a long way. In the sense, whatever were the low-hanging fruit, those have been already been resolved. Now when it comes to the difficult situations where we have a different perception from both the sides, it means that both sides need to have in any negotiation win-win situation. So some kind of indication have been given from both the diplomatic side. Now the military side will sit together and see how this can be translated on ground. And when it comes, what is on the table? Everything which is we can think of, it's on the table along the northern front, and it also includes Depsang and Demchok.
China has also been building a lot of infrastructure, including the so-called model villages along the border, in an attempt to assert its claims, territorial claims. And India has, of late, also started building such villages, mostly in Arunachal Pradesh. Does it help in countering Chinese expansionism?
So let me take firstly why China is constructing those villages. Is the China population close or the Tibet population close to the line of actual control? I find most of the places the answer is no. So what they are doing, they are carrying out this artificial immigration, artificial settlement which are being carried out. No problem, it's their country, they can do whatever they want. But what we see in South China, see what's happening. that when we are talking about the gray zone, initially we find fishermen and those kind of the people who are in the forefront. And in order to save them, then you find the military moving in. So is it leading to some kind of a gray zone where the causation may look very simple, but it may have a grandiose design behind it? That's what we need to look into. As far as Indian Army is concerned, we already been having this kind of a model villages, etc., which we have been carrying out this job. We have Op Sadbhavna, Op Samaritan, we have been having these kind of resources. But what is more important, that the state governments have been empowered now to kind of put in those resources, and this is the time where the army, the state governments, and supervision by the central government, all three are coming together. So the model villages which are coming up now will be much more better. And here I will quote our Prime Minister on 1st of April 2023, when we talked about the Vibrant Village programs, he spoke to all the commander-in-chiefs. He said, what I am looking from the army is basically to provide the soul to these villages. What it means, if you translate, that cultural revival, the trust among the local population that the whole of India is supporting them. They are not the last village, they are the first village. The reverse immigration which must take place. The tourism must come up, and they should feel important wherever they are staying.